The question is, are there yoga poses that can make you go poop? And the answer is, thankfully, yes, there are. Stay tuned, because in this video, I'll let you know about all the yoga poses I know of that can help you go number 2. With a little bit of a caveat, I want to say that these yoga poses don't make you go poop, but they do gently encourage the body's excretory function. Please do me a favor and give this video a like, even if you haven't learned anything yet. I said do. If you like videos about how to improve the quality of your life with yoga and meditation, go ahead and hit subscribe now. On Heartsan Yoga, we post weekly videos about deeper levels of self-love and self-care through yoga and meditation. So if that sounds like your cup of kombucha tea, go ahead and hit subscribe. We'd love to have you join as part of our growing community. If you've ever been pregnant or carried a baby, you know that carrying a bowling ball-sized human being around in your body for months and months does affect your bowel function, both during and after pregnancy. This video isn't specific to the postpartum period. Sometimes when you're postpartum and you can't go, all you really need is a stool softener for a few days until your body heals a little better and you're able to go. What I'm really referring to here is months and even years after you've had the baby, you might notice your digestion is a little sluggish and you might reasonably tie it back to previous pregnancies. So that's just something I think a lot of us moms can relate to. However, there are multiple causes or potential causes for constipation or sluggish digestion, which can include, but is not limited to, poor diet, lack of fiber in the diet, dehydration, IBS, low thyroid, perimenopause or menopause, hormonal changes, or it could be something more serious. So it is a good idea to see your doctor if you're having any kind of recurring bowel changes or bowel issues or issues with going number 2, just to rule out the potential of anything serious. Although the truth is that almost every human being experiences garden variety constipation at one time or another, and usually it's not anything too serious. And in fact, there are yoga poses that can really help with this. So I looked in the book Light on Yoga by B.K.S. Iyengar, and towards the back of the book he has a section on various ailments and their yogic remedies. On page 493 I found a section on constipation, and for constipation Iyengar recommends Sirsasana, Sarvangasana, Uttanasana, Paschimottanasana, Jathara Parivartanasana, and Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, which is a breathing technique. I'm not going to go into all of these, but I'll go into the first couple. So I'll show you a couple of the poses that Iyengar recommends, and then I'll also show you some of the poses that I've found for myself that works for me. Alright, so let's get into the demo portion of this video. I'm going to start off by showing you the yoga headstand pose. You can do this one of 2 ways. You can do it with the hands clasped behind the head, like so, forming your tripod with the forearms, or you can do a true tripod where you have the 2 hands beside the shoulders and the top of the head on the yoga mat. See, I just tapped the wall with my foot. I barely needed it, but I just, okay, I tapped again. So sometimes, especially when I come up with this particular form, I do use the wall behind me just to get myself into the position. But then I can stay here, like right now I'm not touching the wall at all. I can stay here for quite a while. And I notice that when I do these yoga headstands regularly, that my digestion is more regular too. Whew. So now I'll show you the second option for yoga headstand. And this is the tripod version where you have the hands down. You want to place the hands down beside the shoulders, about shoulders distance apart, head down right in the center, and then you can go up like as if you're going into a dolphin pose. And you can rock forward on your toes and walk your toes in, and then take one leg at a time, one foot at a time, and set them on the elbows. And here's a place where you can stay. You can stay here for quite a while and get the same benefits, I think, as the full expression of the pose. So if you feel more comfortable here or safer here, stay here and breathe. Fix your gaze on a fixed point in front of you. And then from there, you can start okay? It doesn't always happen the first try. So just keep trying. Let's try again. So I think what I'm going to do is, because I'm feeling a little bit wobbly today, I'm going to turn and face the bed, and that way if I fall over, I'll just fall in the bed, but hopefully I won't need it. So we'll give that a try. I feel a lot more comfortable now going up. So there we go. And that can really help you just to feel like, even though I'm not using it and even though I haven't needed it, just to know that I have a support behind me just in case I were to wobble or fall backwards. But really I can hang out here for quite a while, even a couple minutes. And then if you want to come down slowly in a controlled way, hopefully. Well, that's something I'm working on, but you can try to send your butt back behind you while at the same time you let your feet lower down in front. The next pose I want to show you is a pose related to the headstand, and it's related in the sense that it's an inversion. And in the Iyengar book that I showed you, he recommends that when you're doing Sirsasana headstand that you also do this one, which is shoulder stand, Sarvangasana. It's good to use a blanket or some kind of support underneath your shoulder blades, because your shoulder blades will be down on the ground. You can start out by sitting on your mat and rocking yourself forward and back just to get that sense of momentum and lifting of the pelvis off the mat. And then just catch your pelvis on one of the rock backs and lift up your legs and stay here and breathe. You can look up at your toes. Another pose worth mentioning is Apanasana, or wind relieving pose. So you might want to try this one after you get done with like your plow or your shoulder stand. So say you're in your shoulder stand and come on out of it. You can just hang out here with your knees pulled into the chest. You can circle the knees into the chest. And you can also just stay here and close your eyes and breathe into your belly. This pose does help if you are feeling bloated, gassy. It can help to relieve that. If you're feeling blocked up, you can just sit here in Apanasana, wind relieving pose, for like 5 or 10 minutes, as long as you have the mobility to bring your knees up. To any degree, you can do this pose. If you wanted to make it easier even, you could place a pillow or bolster under your hips, and that can really help you just to sit comfortably in this position for a while. Another class of yoga poses that can be really helpful for improving digestive flow are twists. Pretty much any twist can help kind of wring out the internal organs and encourage that wonderful digestive flow that we're looking for. I recommend a twist called Ardha Matsyendrasana. So to do that pose, you take your ankle and you hug it to the outer edge of the opposite hip, and then the other leg you take and place over the opposite knee. And then you can bring your hands to your heart, take a big deep inhale, and on the exhale, start the twist, and then bring that outer elbow around to the outer knee and press there. And start to look over your shoulder. Back hand is placed down on the mat near the tailbone, the base of the spine. And while you lengthen out or open up your front arm, look over the shoulder and breathe. Change sides. This twist, especially the one to the left side, really encourages that flow through the descending colon. That is a more, I guess, intermediate twist. If you just want to do an easy twist, you also have that option. It's kind of the same benefit in terms of the wringing through or the kind of squeezing and massaging through the internal organs. So just sit in your easy seated posture. Inhale, and then on your exhale, twist to one side. So throughout all of these poses, I want to encourage you to do your Ujjayi yoga breath, the victorious breath, where you inhale through the nose and you feel that inhale coming all the way into your body and all the way into your belly. It's like diaphragmatic breathing. And then you exhale, and on the exhale you pull your belly in toward your spine. Keep lifting your heart the whole time. So just those deep diaphragmatic belly breaths can really encourage that natural peristalsis, that natural squeezing, contraction, and rhythmic contraction through the intestines and colon. So now I want to tell you about my bonus tip suggestion, which is the squat pose, Malasana. So we do this in yoga a lot anyways, and we can start by kind of working into the feet and working into the hips and kind of rocking side to side, until you feel that maybe you can make your way into this yoga squat. If you can get your heels down, great. If not, that's okay too. The reason why this yogi squat is important and helpful for digestion is because it conditions the legs to be able to hang out in this squat position. And many people find it helpful to actually go number 2 in this exact position. I read a story about a family who hosted an exchange student, and the exchange student was from India. The mom of the host family, she kept finding footprints on the toilet seat, and she didn't understand why for the longest time. She finally asked the exchange student, her daughter, that she was hosting, what's going on with the footprints on the toilet seat? And the daughter said, oh, that's because when I'm on the potty, that's how I use the potty. I squat on the toilet because that's how we do it in my country. The host mother found this very interesting, and so she tried this squatting position herself, and she found, to her surprise, that it was really beneficial. In many countries, it's considered very unnatural to sit on the toilet like a seat and just sit there. It's not really the most natural pose for humans to go number 2. Like if you watch a dog or a cat when they're going, they kind of curl their body, and it's the same with us. That kind of curled position, it just encourages the whole thing to happen more easily. So that's my bonus tip. It's worth a try. You can also do your twist from this position. If you want to try that, bring your feet together, legs together, and kind of hug your legs and squeeze everything into the midline. Balance on the balls of the feet. Inhale, exhale, and twist. Okay, woo, back to center. It's a little bit of a wobbly, tippy wobbly pose. Opening with the hands can help with the balance. So maybe you can use your hand as a little bit of a balance assist. Now I just want to talk about core work. If you do core work, it makes your entire yoga practice stronger. But also getting into that core really can help with digestive function, or AKA going number 2. Just getting into that core, working through those muscles can really get things going and help out a lot in that regard. So the core poses that I suggest are yoga bicycles and Navasanas. Navasana is the boat pose. I'll show you that one first. You can start by sitting on your yoga mat. Sitting on your yoga mat nice and tall, and then lengthening the feet up and out and lifting the hands up. Try to lift as high as you can and really let your core be the source of strength in the pose. Your core is the thing that's holding the integrity of the pose together. And if you can't do it with straight legs, it's okay to do it with the hands resting under the knees and just lifting the shins, and still try to feel or center or organize the pose around your core so that you're really working into your core. And whichever version you choose, just stay there as long as you can, breathe. And it's okay if you shake a little bit in the pose. A little bit of shaking is normal. Another thing you can do is alternate or flow between this bent leg position to straight legs. And you'll really feel that. And so the yogi bicycles are where you take your hands behind your head, elbows back towards the ground, and then you lift one hand and you bring it to the opposite outer knee and straighten the opposite leg. And then return and do the same on the other side. Whew. Repeat that a few thousand times and you've got your core work done. So I want to emphasize that having a daily consistent yoga practice is really good and helpful in terms of kicking up your digestive powers. If you're interested in doing a free online yoga class with me, you can click this link up here and go to a free full-length yoga video that I've created. And if you're interested in watching a video about other types of mindful movement, you can click this link up here and go to my Learn to Longboard in Your 40s video.